Everybody, we're continuing on this particular composition. And in the previous video, I set out in a midtone. And the midtone, all it has to be is something that you can work with, that you can define like a drawing and then work with it. So now I'm going to show you a little bit of what I mean, such as taking, and the midtone that I use, let's say now we start a little color mixing. So let's take yellow, and a little yellow and a little white, and we're going to mix them on the palette with that red a little bit, not too much. This is watercolor. Everything mixes really nicely with watercolor for what we're doing specifically. I mean, all different oil-based, water-based, acrylic, oil, watercolor, they all mix differently. They're all beautiful in how they mix, but they all mix differently. In watercolor, we're just going to take a little bit, squeeze it on our palette, which our palette we're using today is just a plastic lid with our water container, as I said in a previous video, a water container, which we're going to leave the water, the red water, not red, but I mean it's tinted, or it's shaded. The actual design terminology is that shade is taking something. Well, it's tinted because the value is dark, and in design, it's all just rhetoric. But in design, the accepted terminology for something being tinted. Well, let me stop talking. Okay, so, I mean, I could talk a little bit, but what I really want you to do is concentrate less on my words and less on my big mouth and more on my art. So, we're going to come back here just like this, just like that. And, you might say, oh, it looks worse now, but as we dress up the painting with other colors and let it happen, now I'll tell you what, let's try to get it looking a little better before I shut off. We may or may not succeed in that, because what we're doing is we're starting to apply color to the piece. And when you apply color, it's sort of like messing it up before you make it look better. It's the best I can explain it. So, but not really mess it up, because you see we're coming back, and as we quote unquote mess it up, whatever that means, because we're not really messing it up, we are redefining with color. So when you redefine with color, now my impetus or my inclination is to take a darker color, which I'm going to choose a brown. And a brown is very, a lot of times, okay, now these are Aquarelle Chinese watercolors. Everybody say Aquarelle. Now I know why they invented the concept of rolling your R's. Okay, so we're going to take the Aquarelle. We're going to mix the brown with the red, and I'm going to leave the yellow and the white alone. And we're going to come over here, and we're going to get more water, because we want an inky consistency, or milky, to the extent that we can apply the paint. If it's too thick, it's difficult, if not impossible, to apply. And then just go over your detail work that you set out with the original. Okay, so you could see how it's developing, and I don't want to go too long. I want to do another video later, and poquito en poquito, which is little by little. Everybody have a great rest of the Saturday, 2025.